Good evening. Welcome to Last Bell Boxing, proudly sponsored by LW Liftings and S&C Travel. Today, joined by rising Midlands boxing star Frazer Morgan. Frazer's currently sat 5-0 as a professional, and on the 9th of March at Arleston Hall under the John Ashton promotion, faces Sean Bruce for the vacant Midland area Superfly title. I think I've got all that right. Frazer,
Yeah.
how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, very good, pal. I know you've had a really busy day, as often is with fighters on small old shows before they get to the big time. Working, grafting, down at the gym before you started, I believe, as well, and then you've just been out for a run. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, busy day today. Just a boxing day tomorrow. But starting to taper down now, anyway, as well.
Yeah, coming up to fight week. Before we get onto the fight, let me take you back a little bit, because I always like to get a bit of history from fighters, especially if someone's watching the show and they might not have seen your fight or they might not know about you. It's nice to get a little bit of back history. So,
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your first ever memory of boxing? Is it watching it on TV? Is it you going to an event? What's your first memory?
First memory, really was just going to the gym. Like, we've always been involved in boxing gyms. I started when I was 7, so literally been in the sport since I was 7 years old. So the first memory is literally going into the gym with me. My dad's always been in boxing. He used to be a boxer when he was younger. Obviously now he's a coach. I have 2 brothers. All 3 of us boxed. The oldest one, he didn't box for too long, but obviously me and Jake have both stuck it out. I remember going to a Ricky Hatton fight as well when I was younger, which made me even love boxing more.
Yeah, I can imagine. What was that like?
Oh, mint, mate. Yeah, mint.
Was that up in Manchester? Was it Ricky Hatton's A-Day?
I'll tell you which one it was. He lost it. It was one of his comeback ones against, was it Shevchenko?
Oh, right. So that would have been after the Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, the Manny Pacquiao defeat, and then he made a comeback again. Yeah.
That was It was sad to see that, mate. I was a massive Ricky Hatton fan, just like you.
Oh yeah, I think watched his new documentary as well, which is mint.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's great. It shows you a completely different side as well, which is always good to see with fighters, especially someone of Ricky's magnitude. You know, the things he did and the amount of traveling fans he took over to the States. It changed boxing a little bit. Ricky Hatton doing that.
Definitely.
Anyway, sorry. We diverse. Back to what you were saying, mate.
Yeah. So then I got into boxing. And then my first fight, I won that in the amateurs. Been to the semi-finals of the championships. Semi-finals in the CYP championships. Gold medalist in the Hull Box Cup twice. Right. So, and then I think in the end, amateur fights, I think I ended up around having about 45-ish fights. So
what was it like turning over from amateur to pro? Because I mean, the good thing, obviously, with you is that your dad stayed with you all the time. So he was there during your amateur career as a coach. He's now come to the gym with you at Shinfields, and he's now part of the coaching team there. Whereas a lot of fighters, they'll have an amateur gym, they'll have coaches that were the amateur coaches, and then they'll go and look for a pro gym because a lot of amateur gyms don't do pro. They'll go and find a new pro gym, so they have to learn again from a new trainer. You have to build that relationship where that's not a problem for you, is it?
No, because obviously, like you said, I've got my dad, and obviously, just literally. Um, at first, it's like because obviously you got to transition from a fast pace 3 rounds, 3 minutes. Though you've got to like do
Yeah.
all your work in three rounds. So I prefer it now as a professional because, well, like this fight now, I've got 10 rounds. I've got 10 rounds to do my work. So yeah, I prefer it a lot better in the pros to the amateurs, to be fair. And I think a lot of people do when they turn over. They always say it.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is obviously you touched on it a bit ago, and that's the big boxing family that you've got. Obviously, we've just spoke about your dad and being your trainer for amateurs and into your pros, but also brother Jake's also on the same card, right?
Yeah. Because we've actually not been on the same card for a bit, so it's nice to
No,
actually get back together and box on the same one. I think it's brought a lot of interest as well because we've sold loads of tickets. We've literally done unbelievable amounts, and I think that with the title fight and me and my brother being back on the same card, it's got a lot of interest again.
right? You got lots coming down then, have you?
Oh yeah, loads.
Oh, that's great, mate.
Literally.
I mean, we'll get on to Arliston all shortly, but what a venue! The atmosphere is great in there.
Oh yeah, it's mint. Like especially because when you look from the outside, you think, "Oh, what's this?" And then you go inside, it's like a completely different place.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I remember the first time I came down there for the first show that you had on down at Arliston, and I drove past it twice or three times, wondering, oh, surely it can't be that
Is this the
place.
right place?
But like you say, inside it's absolutely mint. Just before we do get on to the fight, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how you came about going to Shinfields as your pro gym, because obviously there's lots of choices around. There's lots of pro gyms in Derbyshire. Why Shinfields?
um, well, he's produced like good champions. Rendell, he's had Scott Haywood, he's had Evan McKenzie. So the names are there. And it was when I was at Chesterfield, and Jay actually brought down Conor Blackshaw for sparring. So when I was amateur, I was sparring Conor Blackshaw,
Right.
so we actually got to know him a little bit then. So we knew when we was turning over, we went, oh well, that's going to be the place for us, really.
So that made the transition quite smooth then.
Yeah.
And obviously, you've got Jay there as a trainer as well. Mike's there as the manager of the gym. And your dad's obviously brought another dimension in, and your dad does a lot of work with all the other fighters. It's not just you guys, not just you and your brother, but he's working alongside Jay with the rest of the pros.
Oh yeah. To be fair, we've got a good stable there now. So it's like I've got in-house sparring, everything. Literally, you don't need to go out for sparring. We have obviously for this fight and stuff. We've been out here, but everything's in-house now.
Yeah, it's a proper old school gym as well, mate. There's no airs and graces there. It's a freezing cold Sunday morning when I go down anyway,
Yeah,
and, and do the odd interview in there. It's a freezing cold Sunday morning. It makes you guys work a lot harder, I'm sure.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
So moving on to fight then and preparation. How's things gone? How long have you had as a full camp for this fight?
Yeah, full count. About 12 weeks. It will be obviously to fight night. It'll be a full 12 weeks then. Best camp I've had by far. I'm
Right.
feeling I'm weights sound. I've had good sparring, 10 round sparring. I know I can do the rounds. But yeah, best camp by far. And I think everyone was here. Different Frazer Morgan come fight night.
Are you one of these fighters that stays pretty trim anyway? Just you stay in a reasonable. And everyone puts on weight, obviously. No one stays at fight weight all the time, but you hear these stories of fighters putting on 2 or 3 stone and stuff like that. Are you the sort because obviously the graph that you do in your work week, I'm assuming that helps keep you in trim. But are you one of these fighters that kind of stays at a reasonable weight so you don't have to lose too much during camp?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just don't see why balloon up. So you make it harder for yourself if you get someone at short notice, like ring Frazer Morgan. Have you got him? But it's only 5 weeks, 4 weeks time. Can you make 8 stone 3? Yeah, we can do it. Sound. If I was like needing to lose a stone and a half, we're gonna have to go. Oh no, sorry, we can't do it this time.
And I tell you what, you never know, do you? On these sort of shows, fights pop up, opportunities come about. You never know when the next thing might be around the corner, right?
Oh no, of course not. Especially at my weights, there's not many about, so it's more of a faster route to get to the top.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, I mean, that takes us swiftly on to what's coming up on the 9th of March. As Arliston All Out, we've just spoken about, promoted by John Ashton Promotions. You're fighting Sean Bruce, who is currently 4-0. You're 5-0, so you've both got similar records. You know a little bit about Sean, though, right? Because I've been down I've been not mean to give too much away, but I've been down the gym, down your gym on a Sunday, and Sean's been down there with Rendell, and there's been a little bit of sparring going on. So, you kind of know each other a little bit. I don't know how much sparring you've done.
We've not done mega amounts of sparring, but it ain't gonna be the same as sparring. Like, I'll be completely different from fight night, and just not. I really think this time everyone will see a different Frazer Morgan. I really do. Like, I think this is going to be the best version of me.
It's a completely different fight being over 10 rounds as well, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously I've done 6, but as soon as I finish 6, I know in my head as well, my fitness is there and I can go for more. So I think the longer they go on anyway, I get better as it goes on.
I mean, from a fan perspective, from where I'm coming from, this is an absolutely fantastic fight. I can't wait for the 9th of March. It's going to be brilliant. I know both of you guys. I've had the pleasure of watching you fight a number of times. I've had the pleasure of watching Sean fight a number of times. You're great fighters, a pair of you. It's going to be a brilliant fight. I can't wait. Take me a little back to prep for this fight. You was talking a little bit earlier on about going out and sparring. Whereabouts have you been up and down the country?
Yeah, so I've been sparring a kid in Leeds called Kobe McNamara.
Right.
So I've been sparring him. Obviously, I've got it in-house anyway as well with my brother.
Yeah.
Liam at the gym and that. So, yeah, sparring's been mint, mate. I've been there's an amateur gym not too far from me, really. It's in Swaddling Coat. And what I've been doing is doing 10 rounds there and literally a new opponent every minute and a half for 10 rounds. So it's always a fresh opponent.
I bet that's hard work.
Oh, bloody is, because they're fast paced as well for amateurs. So.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. I mean, a lot of pro fighters do that. They'll get amateur fighters in because they're quick.
Yeah.
So,
it's been mint.
So, what do you expect fight night? I mean, obviously, like I say, we just spoke about that you've spent a little bit of time sparring Sean, but what do you expect to be in the other corner come fight night?
To be honest, I'm prepared for anything that comes to me, so whatever does come, I'll adjust, I can adapt, so...
It's really interesting... Sorry, mate, say that again.
I'm ready for anything that anyone brings in any fight.
Do you feel like this is your time?
Oh, definitely, 100%. I've literally got no doubt at all. I really believe that I'm going to have the belt. It's,
like I say, fantastic fight. Anyone that's watching this that currently doesn't have a ticket, I don't know if the place is sold out yet. What I do know is, from history of being down there a few times, The atmosphere is always brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
If there are any spare tickets flying around, you can buy them straight from the fighters. I'm sure you can buy them from Jay at Shinfields.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Sean will have some. You know, I'm sure Sean will have some left. It's it's going to be a brilliant fight. It's going to be a brilliant night. There's some really good undercard fights as well. What I like about the crowd that goes down is, even though they're buying tickets from individual fighters, so obviously you get people going and supporting you. Other fighters on the bill will have their own fighters, their own supporters. Sorry, but what I like is all the crowd supports everybody.
Oh yeah, it's good. Literally at Shinfields, we're all like one big family basically.
Yeah,
But yeah, everyone tells everyone support each other, and they do that.
yeah, it's really good to see, mate, because you get a lot of small old shows where fans will come. I don't know, someone sells 250 tickets or 150 tickets. As soon as the fight that they've been to see is finished, they go.
Yeah.
And they don't, or if they do hang around, they're not making a lot of noise for the next fighter that's coming on. But that's not the case.
No.
Down at that Arsenal, it's really good. So I encourage anybody, if there is any tickets left, I encourage anybody that lives in the area or close by that wants a good night of boxing, get yourselves down to Arsenal on the 9th of March. It's a brilliant fight. It's a brilliant fight night. It's a brilliant card. It's run really well. The venue is fantastic. I'll leave the last word with you, mate. Anything you wanna say to fans that if they haven't bought tickets, where they can get them from, and to the people that are coming down to watch you, mate. I'll leave the last message with you.
Yeah, so you can get tickets from me, Jay, my dad, anyone. Just literally get in touch with us. We're not going to say no, obviously. But then shout out to me sponsors, Spray Masters, SC Travel, Pro Fitness Therapy, Box Fitness. Literally, without me sponsors, none of this would be possible. It really wouldn't.
Frazer, thank you for your time, mate. It's been brilliant talking to you. And I'll see you on Fight Night.
Yeah, on Fight Night, Andy.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks, mate.
See you in a bit, mate.